Thematically, what the film is about is a young woman having to find her power. I think that's what we've come to discover that the film is about. And how she gets there is long and painful and circuitous.
Linda's different tellings of her own life and her own story were essential to our conception of the film. Her earliest autobiography was apparently written by Chuck Traynor, as far as we can tell.
When we first delved into the subject, Linda was an enigma to us. We really couldn't jive all the different parts of her story as she told it. And when you look at even some of the evidence, like the photographic evidence, you see her during the time of Deep Throat when she's presenting herself in publicity stills and publicly. She really looks great, like she's having the time of her life and coming into herself. And then you come to discover that was what was really going on behind the scenes was a very different story.
Each development, each change in her life was really driven by intolerable circumstances in the previous phase. So she came from a very strict family, very oppressive, protective parents, her mother especially. And when she met Chuck and discovered her a kind of freedom in her sexuality, that was a liberation for her from her strict religious upbringing.
As part of our research, we had a conversation with Gloria Steinem, who first encountered Linda watching The Donahue Show, when Linda appeared on The Donahue Show. And she was very impressed and arranged for a meeting. And Gloria, we spoke with Gloria for maybe, 45 minutes to an hour in that first phone call, and something that she told us, which was really key in how we approached Linda as a character, was her sense of Linda, which was that she was extremely generous and kind and patient. And in particular, Gloria cited how time and again Linda would encounter doubters, people who read her book or just refused to believe that what she was saying was so, and really questioned why didn't she leave earlier than she did, and just really doubting what Linda was presenting as her truth.
Seeing Linda on Donahue was really what made us realize that she was a kind of a deep character that would give us room to work. There's a way in which she expresses herself that's just so real that you can't. It's really hard to. It's hard to doubt what she's saying. And I don't think it's because she's a great actress. I think it's because she was just speaking from her heart.
I think this was an incredibly challenging role for Amanda, but she also brought qualities innately of her own qualities to the role that were very much like Linda's. I mean, Amanda has a kind of just a guilelessness and a genuineness and an authenticity, which was very much like Linda. So in that sense, Amanda was bringing a lot of herself to the part. And Linda was also completely unaffected. I mean, she had been through this incredible ordeal, but just as a person, she didn't present herself in any way with any kind of affect, similarly with Amanda.
She studied The Donahue Show. She looked at the tapes, and she internalized and embodied what was going on, what seemed to be going on for Linda, in a very convincing compelling manner.
It's a trade-off. You know, we're just bouncing back between one of us being on the floor with the actors and the other a monitor, and then we'll come forward and then switch.
Sometimes one of us goes with one of the actors and one of us goes with the other actor. You know, it's really getting what we need, and we both know what we need to get. So we just do whatever we can think of to get it.
We use similar principles in documentary and feature filmmaking, which is trying to find what's the emotional truth. You know, what's the emotional truth to that character, to that situation, to that overall story. And within that, we take a lot of dramatic liberty, but our guide is what our sense of that emotional truth is.
Audiences are going to respond, I believe, to Amanda and Peter's performances, all the performances, but especially Amanda and Peter, who are really on fire, and both give really, really powerful performances, and I think that's what audiences respond to.